Do you have any people being paid by the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal?
We do have people who submit pieces to American journals.
Do you have any people paid by the CIA who are working for television networks?
This, I think, gets into the kind of getting into the details, Mr. Chairman, that I'd like to get into in executive session.
You don't think the globalists are just going to roll over in the ditch and die, do you? You don't just think they're going to give up when they almost had this country completely enslaved. No, they're only doubling down with fake news and disinformation. They've got multiple electors lined up saying they're not going to honor the voters in those states, but they're going to give those electoral college votes to Hillary. And now they're coming out with the CIA, whose admitted job it is to lie. And they're telling the American people they have evidence that's secret that Donald Trump won the election because of Russian fraud. And then we've got Michael Moore going on national television smiling like a Cheshire cat saying, hey, he isn't in office yet. Something could happen. Well, what is that something?
He's not president of the United States yet.
Yeah.
He's not president, right? Would you not agree, regardless what side of the political fence you're on, this has been the craziest election year?
It certainly has.
Nothing anyone has predicted has happened.
Yeah.
The opposite has happened.
Yes.
So is it possible, just possible, that in these next 6 weeks, something else might happen?
A month ago, within 1 day of President Trump winning in an upset victory, despite the fact that the internal poll showed he was way ahead, the Democratic Party came out and claimed that they had an intelligence agency assessment that said that there was Russian meddling in the election. But they couldn't give any proof. In fact, just yesterday, the Washington Post had to come out and retract a story claiming that they had proof that Russian bots were pushing anti-Hillary Clinton news. They had to retract it and admit it was totally fake. Now, here's where it gets incredible. Suddenly, a new secret report comes out, and we hear about it from Hillary and Obama, but they say we can't see it. But I've talked to intelligence experts who read the article, and they say, notice they say other intelligence agencies, and then the CIA basically gave this new analysis. That's the big telltale sign that it's fake. And on top of it, this is the same agency who's charged with lying for whatever president happens to be in the White House at the time, and Obama still has 40 days left in the White House. But look, the mainstream media has zero credibility, and the American people aren't buying any of this. Why I'm really concerned is that this could be used inside government to trigger emergency systems under COG that if a major leader like the president is actually a foreign agent, they can then reportedly be taken out. And so to have the bold move of implying that a president-elect is being manipulated and controlled by the Russians is a very, very serious telltale sign that they could be thinking about bringing in outside mercenaries or other agencies to actually try to assassinate the 45th president of the United States, Donald Trump, before he even gets into office. Because remember, they are incredibly desperate right now. He is about to bring jobs back to America. He is about to deactivate globalism. He's about to bring down their entire system. He's putting in an individual at Treasury who wants to audit the Federal Reserve. He wants Rex Tillerson, the head of ExxonMobil, who has amazing global contacts, to be the head of the State Department. And the news, again, is implying that Rex Tillerson from Texas, who started as an engineer in the 70s and worked his way up at ExxonMobil, they're claiming this guy's a Russian agent. They're claiming to his face that Tucker Carlson is a Russian agent.
One final question. Can you look right into the camera and say, I know for a fact the government of Vladimir Putin was behind the hacks of John Podesta's email?
Absolutely. The government of Vladimir Putin was behind the hacks of our institution and the dumping of information.
Of John Podesta's email.
Not only in the United States,
email.
But also in Europe.
Okay, you're not, you know what, you're dodging.
And Tucker,
no, look and say, I know they did. John Podesta's emails, they hacked those.
And I think that Ronald Reagan will be rolling over his grave at your carrying water for the Kremlin.
I'm not carrying water for the, you're a sitting member of Congress on the Intel Committee, and you can't say they hacked.
You're gonna have to move your show to RT Russian television, because
you know what? That's just so beneath your office, because it's so dumb and you're being duplicitous. I'm asking you.
Because they're the foreign outside corporate power. They're the ones that have hijacked the country. They're the globalists getting rid of our sovereignty, putting us under the TPP, NAFTA and GATT, the WTO. And so they accuse us of what they're doing. So clearly the president's in danger. Clearly the president-elect needs to understand this is happening. And I know he's being briefed by folks like Rex Tillerson, who I've been a big fan of for a decade, because it was Rex Tillerson in 2006 and 2007 that took Standard Oil, that's what ExxonMobil is, away from the Rockefeller family and stopped them from being able to establish carbon taxes by fiat through ExxonMobil. And I gave that analysis to a very high-level individual in the federal government, in the executive branch, and they said that is incredible, because that's the exact analysis I was given by Rex Tillerson. There's a reason people listen to me, folks, and you need to understand we're trusted. And that's why the Liberty Movement, trying to save this country, privately and in government, is working with InfoWars to get you this information. But this shows they're not standing down. They're not just letting Trump get inaugurated. They're telling him they're standing down, but all of their actions show they're not. They're coming after him. And criminal corporate elements inside the CIA and other agencies, there's different factions, are moving right now to try to basically overthrow Trump. We don't know their exact move, but the fact that the CIA came out through Obama, that is an element of it, and put out this disinformation, even after their last disinformation had to be retracted, shows they're moving ahead with this. So this is an emergency alert, ladies and gentlemen, that they are attempting to go after the president, claiming he's a foreign spy, to thwart the will of the American people. I mean, think about this. You went and voted for Trump in such landslide numbers that they're unable to even effectively try to steal this back from him. And so they're panicking, saying you voted for Trump because the Russians mind controlled you. No, the truth is the American people have broken out of the mind control of the globalist. They understand what's happening. And it's people in our own government that are leading the charge to restore this republic. And nothing on earth is going to stop us, because God is in charge and God is in control. And if we work hard, if we speak out, if we take action, if we tell the truth and never stop and never back down and never get intimidated, we cannot be defeated. Make no mistake, though, the next 40 days is the most important 40 days in this nation's history since Lexington and Concord and since Trenton and since the final battles of that war. This is the fight for the heart and soul of this republic and the rest of the world. Because if America falls to the globalist, God help us all. Our fellow InfoWarriors across the United States and across the planet really love the Hillary for Prison 2016 shirts that we began to put out in 2015. It became a global meme against globalism and corruption, and a very strong maxim that's now being continued on today. So we now have George Soros, because the media attacked me on this whole goblin meme, and they've made huge jokes about it, but it's totally blown up in their face. We now have George Soros as a goblin on the back, and it says, with a cross through him, an X like Ghostbusters, no Soros, him as a goblin. It says deport Soros on the bottom, and on the top it says InfoWars established 1996. So it is a limited edition, deport Soros on the back, Hillary for Prison on the front, right-hand shoulder, Infowars.com. It's powerful. Hope you get out to everybody you know. Infowarsstore.com, or call 888-253-3139.